Alright guys, such Kremp again today. Hope you're doing well and enjoying your day so far with OpTic Halo getting defeated in the World Championship Grand Finals for Halo just a week or so ago. FormaL has revealed on stream that he's absolutely devastated, and understandably, with the way the last year or so has gone for him in Halo. The big question was towards the end of the season, would FormaL call it a day, retire from competitive Halo, move on to other pastures? But it seems like FormaL is absolutely committed to staying it to some degree in competitive play. He wants revenge for the way that things happened at the end of this most recent season. Is that in Halo? Could that potentially be over in the Call of Duty world? Very much enjoyed your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. I'd greatly appreciate it. Just quickly from Kremp, he's at Road Atlanta and he's doing some like testing, whatever, for IMSA tomorrow, as in today. But I thought like tomorrow he was meant to be in Texas for the OpTic Legacy match. So I'm guessing he's going to be able to do both. I don't know. But I'm assuming that they've worked it out with Kremp and he hasn't forgotten about this match that he's going to be running in a couple of days here because, well, Kremp's a busy man. But yeah, get on the phone and make sure that he's going to get out there in time, I guess. Just wanted to quickly mention this. I thought it was fascinating. So, look, these guys are talking about League of Legends. Kenny follows it. JP clearly follows it. I don't really know what's going on over there. But I thought the kind of implication from JP, one of the coaches of OpTic, was pretty interesting, saying that pretty much a top Korean LCK team, League of Legends Championship Series Korea, however exactly it stands for, losing a game to an NA team. And in League of Legends, NA teams are generally just considered to be trash, and you know, the Asian teams dominate. But there was a certain champion that was picked by the NA team, and you know, this top Korean team just didn't know how to counter it, basically. And JP says playing your own unique game against the better team is better than trying to beat them at their own meta. And it's an interesting kind of observation, and I wonder whether this could also prove to be the case again in Call of Duty at some point. It's kind of a commonly known theory that when you're playing a team like FaZe, don't try and play like FaZe, because they're going to beat you if you try and play like FaZe. Play your own game, throw them off guard, and at least you stand a better chance in that way if that happens. And it reminded me a bit of what happened with Ban and Protect back in the day. So I didn't even mean to mention Black Ops 3, but like, here we are again. I just got out myself, I suppose. So this was Ban and Protect. If you guys aren't familiar, several years ago, this was actually at what was famously the Esports launch event, which is the only time they've ever done it in CoD history. But before Black Ops 3 even came out, they did a specific competitive Call of Duty Esports launch event with these guys: Tommy, TP, Flex, Merc, Doug was there, Gataga, Kivy, and Buzzo. So, yeah, legendary stuff. And before Hardpoint started on Combine, it was a map in the beta, but of course was never a competitive map when the game actually launched, they did Ban and Protect. Now at this time, the idea from Treyarch was that Ban and Protect would cover everything, like even the UAV here was getting banned, which was maybe a nice idea in theory, but of course in reality it's like, well, what if somebody goes in and their first protect that they choose is protecting the UAV, and then we're calling in UAV and orbital VSATs? Like, I don't think that's the competitive game that I want to play. People are calling out, you know, the rocket launch to take down the UAV. That's not the competitive CoD I want to watch. So eventually they decided, okay, we're going to have a series of things that are automatically banned, and then from there the players can do what they want to do. Now, interestingly enough, the teams that caused the upset results, they would quite often, when they played the top teams, ban something that was pretty standard to be used in the game. And, you know, this was always controversial, and one of the reasons why I don't think Ban and Protect was my favourite thing is because this was a game, I think, Stage 2 playoffs, Dream Team versus FaZe, and Dream Team made a big run all the way to the grand finals of this tournament in the end. Now, FaZe, every time they played, Dream Team would ban the Man of War, because that was like Killer's favourite gun, and that's what they would always use. So they banned the Man of War out of there. But often when this team or other teams played teams they were better than, they would literally change the meta. So they would go in and just ban Afterburner, which was the perk that allowed your jetpack to recharge faster, or they would ban Dead Silence, or they would ban, you know, the most used weapon. For example, I found this on the next map here where the M8 got banned. So, you know, and the HVK got banned, and the Shiva got banned. So like loads of weapons that you would practice using all the time just got banned, and then you've got to play a different game with the XR2 or with something else. And it was kind of a known strategy for weaker teams to throw off the better team, the more talented team, by taking out their best stuff, making the gameplay non-traditional, ban Blast Suppressor or something, right? And introduce a little bit of randomness. And I think if you go back to that season, many of the top teams, certainly Eggs, I think, have this perspective of like, that was kind of a joke. They were just doing stuff to make the game not so competitive so they'd have a chance to win. And I kind of like, to some degree, get that perspective, but equally it was kind of fascinating to see that, you know, the other teams were able to kind of level the playing field by doing some cheese. That's what the pros would call it today anyway. And the argument might be, well, it's still Call of Duty, just play the game at your best level, even if the VMP is bad, and even if you've got to use some random SMG like the Pharaoh, then it's still Call of Duty at the end of the day, and you've still got to prove you're the better team even with all these other complications. So some want Banner Protect back in the game. I think it could come back. I just wouldn't have 8 bans. I would have like 4 or 2 or something. And overall, it probably just took a little bit too long. But let's talk about this whole FormaL situation. Dashy was live from the Hex quarters. FormaL was live as well. And thanks to Gabriel for pointing out a number of clips from me from FormaL's stream last night where he talked about a fair few things. Mainly, as you guys can clearly tell, his deep frustration with what's been happening in the Halo world as of late. All the second places, clearly absolutely devastated FormaL with the way that this season has ended. And sure, he was very cordial on social media about the results, saying, well, we just weren't good enough. But you guys can clearly see how much these results have affected him. And it's difficult to see, and it's also difficult for FormaL to want to go out on a low like this.
I just got second place 6 times in a row, dude. You know what that does to a man?
Still in sight.
You know what that does to someone who's won so much? Okay, bro.
Reloading. Out of charge.
Wait. It will eat you alive, bro. When you're as competitive as I am, bro, it's so hard to hold that on the chin.
Go, go, go.
Reloading.
So hard, man. I'm just gonna try to distract myself for a while.
I'm out of here.
Favorite game of all time? Probably Halo 3, bro.
Stay down.
Just sucks, dude. 'Cause it's like there's so much time between now and the next time I can even like try again, you know?
Go, go, go. Still in sight.
It's so hard to like force someone to want what you want, you know? So hard, dude.
Yeah, what's up, man? Appreciate you joining us, dude.
Yeah, 15 minutes late.
Dude, you're literally drinking.
How does anything that I'm doing over on my stream when I was off the grid at noon, 12 o'clock on the dot, have anything to do with you being 15 minutes late? Tell me.
You are literally drinking.
Seth, we're not deflecting. Tell us why you're 15 minutes late.
I am 100% deflecting here.
I do forgive you, I do, but I do
Oh
want
my
to call
God,
out.
you're folding like a piece of paper.
No, I'm not done.
You didn't even
No,
apologize,
hold on.
bro.
No,
You didn't even
no,
say
because,
sorry.
Well, let me talk. Let me talk because I'm gonna get there. I was gonna say, and I'm still gonna say, if it was the other way around, and I was in a Warzone game, and Scump and Nate Shot were waiting on me, I would have 10 missed calls, 5 from Seth. It just we're starting without him, dude. Fuck, no, we're starting without him. He had the time. You'd be in full-on tweak mode, and you know you would.
No.
Yes, you would.
No.
Zed,
No.
I've never seen somebody fold so fast. He
I'm
literally
sorry.
did not even
Sorry.
utter the word "I'm sorry" or "I apologize for being late," and you said, "I forgive you," but.
Well, okay, Seth, you do need to apologize, though. I feel like that is an important step.
I'm sorry. I am a little bit late. That's on me.
There's something
But-
ancestral going on here.
Matt, it's in my contract, brother. I mean, you guys, if you're gonna make me
That was
fucking say,
insane.
if you're gonna make me say it, brother, my contract's
the
loaded with
craziest-
stipulations.
That was the craziest turn of events I've ever seen. Somebody clip that, dude. I'm gonna watch before bed every night.
So on some level, FormaL has achieved a lot, right? I mean, grand finals of like every event for the last 6-7 events. I think they won the event 7 events ago at the end of last year, then second at last year's champs, and then second at every event they attended this season. Like, just devastating. And, you know, obviously there are questions on why they couldn't get over the line, whose fault it is, whatever. A lot of the time, FormaL was playing some of his best stuff, trying to will the team over the line, and it just wasn't happening. So FormaL doesn't win champs. There was a question a couple of, actually this is only a few days ago now, where before the World Championship, where HyDra was saying, well, if he does win champs, what's he going to do? Is he just going to call it a day then and there? And I think that would have been probably the outcome, right? The FormaL would have decided, okay, incredibly long career, won the World Championship in CoD, won the World Championship in Halo. If he could have done so again, I think FormaL possibly would have said, all right, that caps off my career, all these seconds, finally win the big one, call it a day. But having lost it, can a guy like FormaL, given his mentality, go out like that? Like, it doesn't seem like he wants to anyway. Like, that was FormaL's perspective. Because a couple of months ago, FormaL was certainly speaking as if he was going to retire from Halo at the end of the season, right? The theory seemed to be, well, grinding Halo every day is too much of a chore, doesn't want to do it, the game isn't that good, there isn't really another one on the horizon for the immediate future. The league around Halo often just gets worse and worse every year as the game cycle continues and nothing much changes with the game. And, you know, does FormaL really want to do it again for, like, you know, the 4th year of Halo Infinite? Probably not. But, you know, does he want to win again? I mean, absolutely. And he's clearly raring for an opportunity to go and win again and compete in somewhere or something else. And maybe that is Halo, or maybe that could even be something else. I mean, it just doesn't seem like FormaL wants to end his career like that, I think is my feeling listening to those clips. And maybe FormaL will say, after he'll reflect on it and, you know, distract himself for various amount of times, be like, look, whatever, like, maybe it's time to call it a day anyway, because obviously the transition to CoD is not going to be easy, or to another esport as well, but it is not impossible, right? Like, if the game launches Black Ops 6, FormaL plays CHALs, he, you know, grinds super hard, and is absolutely frying in the early part of Black Ops 6, someone's going to pick him up at some point if he wants to be picked up by them. Obviously, OpTic would have to, like, loan him out or something. I don't know what that would look like. And obviously for FormaL, if he was to join another team in CoD, let's say like Toronto signed him at some point in the season or whatever, what are his likelihoods to actually win an event against the 3 super teams in the league? Pretty unlikely, unless like OpTic were to bring him in for Dashy or Kenny, but that just seems highly implausible. So I'm not really sure what FormaL's options are. If he does want to get revenge for this season and the way that things ended, probably just grinding it out in Halo again next year is going to be the way to go. And, you know, maybe he does want to commit to that. But, yeah, it's been a rough end to the season. I think it's cool to see, though, like, this is an insight into who FormaL is as a person as well. Like, I don't think there's many players that you'd get this type of mentality from. Like, lots of players, obviously it'd be frustrating for any competitor, but I think for FormaL especially, you can tell how livid he is with the way this end of the season went. So intrigued to your thoughts on that in the comments. Did also share that other clip I thought was kind of funny with Nade, and it's like people say, isn't it, like, he's Scum's right hand man, or whatever they say about methods is, why you get roasted sometimes, and Nade's calling him out for it, thought was kind of entertaining. But just to close out the video here with, from Brian Stats, duos that have competed in 6 or more Call of Duty titles together. We saw that a fair few players have played for their organization for many a year, but to compete in 6 or more COD titles together is quite something. CleanX and Insight are now going to be there with 6, counting Black Ops 6, of course, assuming that these guys do play together for this long, because, well, unless things blow up before the start of the season, CleanX and Insight are going to get to 6, aBeZy and Cell, Simp and Cell as well. And these guys are now getting to the point of basically breaking the records. I mean, Zoomer and Attach, legendary duo. I mean, these are pretty much the most legendary duos ever in COD history. For some time, the top 3 duos ever were considered to be Scump and FormaL, obviously T2P, Zoomer and Attach were a long-time duo, and then Aches and TP. Those were, and Aches and TP I think even still teamed up again in like Black Ops 3 or something, right? So, they played so many years together, but now Simp and aBeZy have absolutely taken over that reign on some level. They've tied up with Aches and TP with 7 Call of Duty titles competed in together, and, who's to say they don't make that 8, 9, 10, whatever. And even Insight and CleanX, they could, take over this list as well. So, yeah, more difficult to say now who are the, most legendary ever trios. I didn't even really mention Kremp and Karma because, yes, they are a bit of a duo, obviously, but they never felt on quite the same level as, like, Scum and FormaL, but I guess maybe they are. So, yeah, I don't know. Who are your top 3 duos ever? Now, looking at this list, it's actually kind of difficult to say, but hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, take care, and I'll see you next time.